All right, here we go with lesson 2.7, properties and strategies. Your I can statement, I can use mathematical properties to solve problems mentally. So the three things that I'm going to show you today are helpful for being able to solve things in your head without having to write them down. Let me show you what I mean. We talked briefly about how the commutative property allows you to change the order of the numbers that you're adding. So if you had numbers here, a plus b, you can flip them around. B plus a is going to give you the same thing. So for example, 9 plus 5 is going to give you the exact same answer as 5 plus 9. They both equal 14. So that's the commutative property. This is the commutative property of addition. By the way, that will also work with multiplication. So the second one we have is the associative property. So changing the grouping of the addends, which is the numbers you add, doesn't change the sum or the total. So if you have a plus b plus c, it doesn't matter if you add the last two numbers first, or if you add the first two numbers first, you will get the same answer. Let me show you what I mean. So in this decimal problem, we have 4.7, 2.6, 1.4. Same thing over here, 4.7, 2.6, 1.4. It doesn't matter if we add the first two first or the second two first. We're going to get the same answer. Then finally, we have the distributive property of multiplication. This is going to sound a little confusing, but hang in there. So when you are multiplying a number by a sum, it gives the same answer as multiplying the number by each addend and then adding the products. Oh my word, it sounds like Greek, doesn't it? So if you have a number times two numbers that you're adding, you can actually split that apart. You can take a times b plus a times c, like this. Let me show you what I mean. So if you have 4 times 2 plus 3, we know that we do whatever's in parentheses first, that would equal 5. 4 times 5 is 20. If we were to split that apart into 4 times 2 plus 4 times 3, which is written out over here, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, 8 plus 12 is 20. So those two things are going to equal each other. So I want you to take a minute and write all of these down. In your math notebook, I want you to copy this exactly the way you see it with the examples. All right. So let's see this in action. The associative property would be the one where we can change the grouping. So if we have a problem that looks like this, lots of numbers that we're adding together, I can look those numbers over and find ones that are easy to combine first. Like I see that 50,000 and 50,000, I know in my head that that's 100,000. And I know that 25,000 plus 75,000 is another 100,000. So that gives me 200,000 plus my 38,000 for a total of 238,000. I can do that all in my head. Look at how this works with fractions. I see fifths, fourths, 17ths, fourths, fifths. So what I can do is first combine my fifths because I know that my denominator has to be the same. So I'm going to add my 2 and 4 fifths plus my 1 fifth. I'm going to add my 3 fourths and my 1 fourth. So if I were to write it out down here, it would look like this. So my 2 and 4 fifths plus my 1 fifth is going to give me 3. This down here, my 3 fourths and 1 fourth is going to give me 1. So my 3 plus my 1 gives me 4 and 5/17. So that's the associative property. You can group them differently. You can move the numbers around and group them differently. The distributive property, let's look at that. So if I have a problem like 7 times 45 plus 7 times 55, notice that both of them are being multiplied by 7, and that's the only time the distributive property works. So instead of 7 times 45, figuring that out, 7 times 55, figuring that out, and then adding the two, I could first add the 45 and 55 and multiply them both by 7. So that equals 100, and in my head I know that 7 times 100 is 700. So solving it this way makes it much easier than trying to do the multiplication first and then adding. So you're going to have a problem like this in your seat work. You're going to be asked to find the combined area of these two rectangles. Now you could find the area of this one, find the area of this one, length times width, and then add the two totals. Or I could, since they're both being multiplied by 10, I could first add the 57 and the 43 and get that total and then multiply by 10. The 57 and 43 add up to 100, so 10 times 100 is 1,000 square feet. All right, so give this a try. Remember that you have your notes. You should have your notes written in your book, your math notebook that you can go back and look at. So you're going to regroup these using the associative property. So look at these numbers, regroup them, and then add, and then give the distributive property a try down here. So notice that right now they're both being multiplied by 7. Look at your notes and see how you could do that a little differently so that it's a little easier. All right, we'll talk more about this in group.